Hey everybody, it's Nate with Sauce Ain't the Boss here again, and today is day number 171 of quitting alcohol. Today I just wanted to talk about putting off the inevitable. What I mean by that is there are things in life that are challenging and difficult, but we have to do them anyway, yet we continue to put them off just because they're uncomfortable or we don't feel like doing them. And I've experienced that until you tackle those inevitable things that you're putting off, they're always there hanging over your head and kind of just bothering you and making you not feel at peace because there's this kind of daunting thing that you need to do, but you just can't seem to find the motivation or strength to do it. And for me, quitting drinking was one of those things. I would tell myself, okay, I'm going to quit drinking when I'm 30. I'm going to quit drinking when my next kid is born. I'm going to quit drinking when I'm 40. And it just kept going on and on for, a couple of decades. And had I quit sooner, I would have avoided a lot of grief in my life. And, just an example I was thinking about today, and it's kind of an embarrassing thing to talk about, but this is just all real stuff to help you guys quit drinking alcohol. But I had gout at one point, which is high uric acid levels, which can be caused in many cases by drinking alcohol, which was what mine was caused from. And one day, I woke up and my toe joint was just inflamed and red and hot, and it hurt like hell. And it lasted for a couple of weeks, And it was only until I got my second attack of that I realized that it was gout, and just very painful and uncomfortable. And I couldn't walk hardly at all, and it was just kind of an embarrassing thing once I realized what it was and that, it was pretty much self-inflicted. Had I quit when I was 30 or earlier or whenever, I would have avoided that in my life. And so I just wanted to kind of get the wheels turning on the fact that, if you're one of those people that knows you need to quit like I was for so long, there's never going to be a perfect time. And if we keep just putting it off and putting it off, more and more negative things, unfortunately, start to happen in our lives. At least in my case, that's exactly what happened until, you finally get to a point where enough's enough. I guess we all have a threshold of what we're willing to put up with and say is acceptable. I remember even after I realized I had gout, I was still drinking, knowing full well that uric acid was caused by high alcohol levels. Here I had these crystallized shards, in my big toe joint causing me agony, and that wasn't enough to get me to put down the alcohol. It was shortly thereafter, that was one of the things that, was another major thing that I just realized enough's enough. What's next? And that's the other thing. What's coming down the pipe that you're not aware of that is going to be the next thing? And some of us have to get thumped pretty hard before we wake up and go, this is just borderline insanity what I'm doing. So I guess, the point of today's video is maybe if you're out there thinking about quitting drinking, or you've tried many times and just can't seem to break free from it, maybe just hopefully this is a little motivation to get you guys to think about the fact that you're not going to have that peace that I talk about until you finally quit. And then you don't have to wrestle with that anymore. You're just not a drinker anymore, and you don't have to wrestle with feeling bad about yourself. And that was another thing I was thinking about today is when I was drinking, I was in a constant state of just not liking who I was, feeling bad about myself, knowing that I was giving in to alcohol and what I really didn't want to do with my life by drinking it. And when you're doing something isn't right for you, and you're trying to get away from it, and you're lacking the willpower, and you're lacking, maybe willpower is a bad word, but you're lacking the control, self-control and discipline to stay away from something that's just causing you nothing but harm in your life, you don't feel good about yourself. You feel like you're kind of beaten and defeated by something, and it just kind of creates this Eeyore, Eeyore from Winnie the Pooh, the little depressed donkey kind of attitude. And I'd be moping around like Eeyore because, I just wasn't living the life that was waiting for me on the other side of alcohol. So that's the topic for today, guys. Just don't put off the inevitable. If I had one thing, regret, maybe it's that I didn't quit sooner, and that there's some things in life you just don't get a do-over on, like raising your kids. And I was a big drinker while my kids were little, and was I the best father in the world? No. Was I the worst? No. Could I have been better? Absolutely. And as you get older and you start seeing some of these things you can't get a do-over with, you kind of wish that you had given up the sauce sooner. So something to think about today, guys. If you guys are enjoying these videos, please give them a like, subscribe to the channel if you can, and most importantly, remember, sauce ain't the boss. You are. You guys have a great day.